Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. When it came time to open for the late Toby Keith in 2003, Blake Shelton had the perfect country rocker hairstyle to commemorate the occasion. We've tracked down a few photos of the former voice coach from August 20, 2003, performing on stage as the opening act for Keith's Shocking Y'all tour, and his hair is incredible. While Shelton sports a short, cropped hairstyle these days, unless his wife Gwen Stefani has hair clippers on her, his look in 2003 involved lots of curly, shoulder-length hair that has to be seen to be believed. These photos were taken over 2 decades ago at Shoreline Amphitheater in Mountain View, California, long before Shelton made his debut on The Voice in 2011 as one of the series' original coaches. Blake Shelton has rocked some seriously cool hairstyles over the years, from his iconic mullet to the 90s rocker-style locks he sported earlier in his career. Touring with Keith is a special memory for Shelton. Over the years, the Austin singer hasn't shied away from opening up about his relationship with the country icon. Blake Shelton talks about the impact of the late Toby Keith. During the 2024 NBC special Toby Keith, American Icon, Shelton talked about opening for Keith early in his career, which set him on the path to continued success. "Toby was the first major artist to give me a chance, and I think it was because I was a fellow Okie," he explained. "I looked up to Toby, and I learned a lot from being around him." "There will never be another Toby Keith," Shelton added. Toby Keith, American Icon was a one-time event that saw Shelton and countless other country stars coming together to pay tribute to Keith, who passed away in February 2024. The special was filled with performances and speeches honoring the should-have-been-a cowboy singer. It's currently streaming on Peacock. In a 2004 interview, Shelton spoke about what it was like to tour with someone of Keith's caliber. "Toby is one of those guys that is so famous and so big, and he is one of those artists that's just worldwide. You don't have to be a country music fan to be a Toby Keith fan. It's just way bigger than that," he said. "I step on stage with over 20,000 people per night, and 15,000 of them may or may not have ever heard of me. Touring with Toby has probably been the biggest break I've had since I started doing this." Long before he was The Voice's resident cowboy heartthrob, long before he was serenading Gwen Stefani under the Oklahoma stars, Blake Shelton was just a small-town dreamer with a wild mane of curls and a 6-string guitar slung over his back. And now, a newly resurfaced photo from a Toby Keith concert decades ago has the internet doing a double take. In the now viral snapshot, Shelton can be seen grinning from ear to ear, with shoulder-length, ringlet curls tumbling freely around his face, a stark contrast to the polished, close-cropped style he sports today. The picture, shared by a fan who stumbled across it in a dusty scrapbook from the late 90s, shows a young Blake backstage at one of Toby Keith's raucous shows in Texas. Dressed in a sleeveless denim shirt, tight jeans, and boots that had clearly seen a few barroom floors, Shelton looks every bit the small-town country rebel. But it's the hair, wild, unruly, and bursting with personality, that's got everyone talking. "He looked like a country rock Tarzan," joked one fan on X, formerly Twitter, where the photo quickly trended under the hashtag #CurlyBlake. "I never knew Blake Shelton had that much hair. He could have joined a 90s boy band or been a shampoo commercial model." At the time the picture was taken, Shelton had just moved to Nashville from Ada, Oklahoma. He was barely 20 years old, soaking up the honky-tonk lifestyle and paying his dues while trying to get a foot in the door of Music Row. Toby Keith, already a rising star with hits like Should Have Been a Cowboy, had taken a shine to the young Shelton and invited him backstage as a guest after hearing a demo tape. What nobody expected was that the future country icon would show up looking like a long-lost member of Lynyrd Skynyrd. "I remember Blake walking in, and everyone just kind of paused," recalled a tour technician who worked the show. "It wasn't just the hair, though trust me, there was a lot of it. It was the whole vibe. He was raw, authentic, and absolutely unbothered by what anyone thought. He was just Blake." The photo captures a fleeting moment in time, a young man not yet jaded by the music industry, unshaped by reality television fame or red carpet scrutiny. It's a look at Blake Shelton before the glitz, before the platinum records, before the People's Sexiest Man Alive title. This was Blake in his most unfiltered form. For Shelton himself, the image brought back a flood of memories. "Oh man. That hair," he laughed during a recent interview on The Bobby Bones Show, after the photo was brought up. "That was the Blake who thought conditioner was optional and that humidity wasn't real. I thought I was cool. Turns out, I looked like I was auditioning for a rodeo version of Cats." Still, the picture serves as a reminder of how far he's come, And how much of that long-haired dreamer still lives inside the superstar? I was hungry back then, Shelton added. And not just because I hadn't eaten in 2 days trying to make rent. I had this fire in me, and I didn't care how I looked or what people thought. That guy in the picture? He was fearless. A little ridiculous maybe, but fearless. Fans, of course, are loving the throwback. Social media has been flooded with memes, edits, and even a few recreations. One particularly devoted fan drew a digital portrait of Shelton as a romance novel cowboy, wind blowing through his golden curls, and shared it with the caption, "He stole my heart, and my conditioner." Even Gwen Stefani couldn't resist chiming in. She reposted the image to her Instagram stories with the caption, "This is who I married," smiley face emoji, followed by a dozen heart eye emojis. Though Shelton has long since trimmed the curls and traded sleeveless denim for tailored suits on television, he remains one of country music's most genuine figures. Whether he's joking with Adam Levine on The Voice or crooning emotional ballads like God Gave Me You, he never forgets his roots, or his hair-raising past. Toby Keith, for his part, shared a statement in response to the viral moment. "I always knew Blake was something special. I just didn't realize he was special and looked like a backup singer for the Allman Brothers." He went on to tease that maybe it's time for a reunion jam. "Let's get the curls back and do an acoustic set, just two Okies with guitars and hair." While a full return to his curly-haired glory days is unlikely, the moment has certainly sparked a wave of nostalgia among longtime fans, and a surprising number of new ones, who are now digging up other lost photos and footage of young Blake. TikTok creators have even launched the hashtag #BlakeGlowUp Challenge, where users post side-by-sides of his curly-haired concert days and his present-day voice appearances. Some have even begun demanding a curly-era vinyl release of Shelton's earliest work, Frizz and All. Ultimately, this rediscovered photo isn't just a funny throwback. It's a celebration of a journey, one that started with a kid and his guitar, standing in the shadows of giants like Toby Keith, and ended with that same kid becoming a giant himself. The curls may be gone, but the soul behind them still sings just as loud. And who knows? Maybe the next time Blake Shelton takes the stage at the Grand Ole Opry, he'll surprise everyone by walking out with a cowboy hat and a full head of curls peeking out beneath it. After all, country music is all about storytelling, and sometimes, the best stories come with a little wild hair.